Remember that germs are too small to see with your eyes. So just because your hands look clean does not mean they are clean.
Alrighty, so we're back to gears. So these are the gears I had earlier, and they were very cool, but you can see there's a lot of play, there's a lot of distance between those teeth. I'm gonna make a jig that will sit like this, and I can put a gear here, and then cut a perfect circle out of here by attaching this to this ribbon down here. The general idea is going to be detaching the miter and attaching that wood block, and then I can drill holes in the wood block, mount the plywood on a center hole, and then cut a perfect circle perfectly around that center hole. And right here, of course, I've got two nice plugs, and theoretically the screw should work, although I don't know if it'll work with having the gear as well. They might get in each other's way. So I think the play here is you have this super close, and I'll actually probably screw it on a little bit over so that way I can cut. Oops, sorry. I think the play is you scoot it over a little bit so that way the first pass I'll cut some off, and then that means this edge will line up right with the blade. So when I'm positioning a gear, I can cut one straight edge of this one of the teeth out, line it up with the end, like with my finger, make sure it's good, drill a hole through there, and then push it up like this and go, and then I should have a perfectly round gear, which is the more important part. And then I can cut out the teeth either individually or make a separate teeth jig, and I can decide that later. But even with a setup like this, you can fit this gear on it pretty healthily even. Just given the fact that you only need half of the diameter of the gear to fit on the board. Hot take, when you design a piece, you should ideally use the same size screws for the whole thing. Okay, so new idea, something like this, so that way I can adjust the distance just by rotating it. I like the first idea better, but I don't have the right screws. Ah, yes. Bolts. Alrighty, so here's test one. I cut off one tooth worth. Goes in, and it should be somewhat good. I don't think this is going to work, just judging by this arm being a not totally secure lever or anything, but we're going to try it and see what happens. So it did not work at all. You can see I started there and then slowly spiraled out until it fell off. But this definitely acted as like a fulcrum, which was terrible. So I did try cutting it, but I didn't do it in a circle. I just would line it up, rotate it, and then cut each tooth individually, which took a long time, but I found that I tightened down the thing more, and rotating it bent the blade. So this might be the way to get around that. Design it so I got a little bit easier way to line up the teeth horizontally like that. Zhink. Zhink. You get the idea. And that'll help me make better parts that hopefully are more equidistant from the center. But yeah, so maybe that'll work. I think that'll be the end of this video. I guess I'll just keep testing that jig and see how it turns out. And Asa, I'll see you around.